Hey, that was nice and short. Welcome everybody. How you doing, Frankie?
Hey, happy Super Bowl Sunday, Manny. Doing pretty good. Pretty excited for today. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. Yeah, everybody was got a lot of feedback last time, and people were happy to see you, man. It's nice to see you back on the air. Uh, so I was like, well, we did the playoff one. We might as well do a Super Bowl show. Makes sense to do that. So we got a few topics online today. We'll talk about obviously the Super Bowl, offenses, the defenses, the quarterbacks, which are the highlights. Mahomes and Brady, and ask around, see what everybody's doing for Super Bowl for food. I know it's always a big deal cooking wise, either grilling or wings or catering in or whatever. Everybody's got a bunch of different stuff going on. Initially, what are your thoughts? Right off the top of your head, something basic. Which way are you leaning towards?
In regards to food or to the game,
Let's go to the game first. Yeah.
it's gonna be a good. This is what the NFL is all about. Marquee matchup. You have the old against the new. The arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game in Tom Brady. He's going for his seventh Super Bowl championship with the up and coming star Patrick Mahomes, who has a
Right.
chance to win back to back. So
Yep.
this is something that the NFL thrives on. The storyline. This is big bucks here. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. How I told you before, shortly before we came on, Manny, I think this is going to come down to the last play, the last possession, might be even like the game winning field goal to win
Yeah.
the game for either team. So I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. And there's so like today's just an awesome day overall. To me, it's like a holiday. I know some school districts they're not going to school tomorrow because of Super
Right.
Bowl Sunday.
I
So
just I just heard about that a couple days ago, and I was like, "Is that for real? Is that a for real thing?" And apparently, it is.
yeah, Cameron County, I believe at one time also celebrated Super Bowl Monday. They moved up President's Day from the 12th or the following week till tomorrow, but I don't think they're doing that anymore. But yeah, to many people it's an all day event. Um, so to me it's a holiday. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and you know what? I hope you're right. I hope it is entertaining. Between the two, I'm pulling for. Okay, so you're right. It is. It is the whole young versus old. Young. I won't say rookie because he's not, but young up and coming quarterback versus old veteran. Yeah, even though that veteran's on a different team now, but you're right that the whole dynamic there of old versus young is there, and can Mahomes, if he wins this one and he leads the Chiefs to a Super Bowl win, I mean, you can almost say, hey, it's he's kind of showing Brady's a door and saying, have a nice retirement, and we got a new sheriff in town.
And that's what it's all about. Again, what better matchup to have? Last week I predicted Aaron Rodgers, who just won the MVP of the league, to go up against the Buffalo Bills. But it's all about entertainment. It's all about what sells, and what better way to end off this very how can I say this ununique season with the COVID-19? How to end this season off with two of the greatest quarterbacks in the game right now, and probably once they're finished, two of the best
Yeah,
quarterbacks to ever play the game. So I think there's a great matchup for the league, for us as fans. So I'm really looking forward to it.
yeah. I'm hoping it's not a blowout because the thing you hate to see is a blowout. Except for when my Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl 85-86 season. The final score was 46-10, and they kind of just exploded. And really, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the defense scored a lot of points on that one, too. So, that kind of blowout was a little different, but, you'd hate to see something that's 35 nothing or whatever, and it's just all lopsided. I really hope that they can make a good game out of it. Here, wishful thinking, Abel. Cowboys will go to Super Bowl next year. You still got the diehards. You still got those diehards that no matter what. Yeah, there you go. See, that's
it's been what, 20 years, Manny? 20 years since the Cowboys made it, and you have teams like Kansas City that out of nowhere they had one good quarterback, and now they're back to back Super Bowl championships. So overall, this is good for the league. This is good for good for the NFL, good for us as fans. Nadia has a good point. Mahomes was in diapers.
Right.
Uh, Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So just think about that, Manny. 20 years ago, he was the underdog. He was the St. Louis Rams. When they had their run, they were favored to win by 14 points.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady was the underdog then. 20
Yeah.
years later, he's still in the league trying to go for his seventh Super Bowl, and he's the
Yeah.
underdog again. So
Yeah.
you can't make this stuff up, Manny.
Yeah, and kind of the roles are reversed. Tom Brady was kind of in the position that Mahomes is in right now, except it's a couple decades ago. And I do hope it is an entertaining game. If anything, my home team didn't make it. Oh well, they're done. But I really do care about a entertaining game, and like I said, I hope it's not lopsided. And we'll see. We got some highlights here. We're going to show two of Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Yeah. So which way are you leaning? I know we got into this just a little bit, but
I picked the Packers. I picked against Tom Brady last week, and rightfully so. Tom Brady proved to the world that he still has what it takes. So I'm rooting for Tom Brady, but the Kansas City Chiefs have an amazing offense. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll be rooting for Tom Brady. I really want him to win his seventh Super Bowl ring. But I think the Chiefs are an unbelievable team, probably one of the best teams to ever play the game, and
yeah.
I think that they're going to end up pulling it off and getting the win today.
Yeah, I'm going for Kansas City. I'm going for youth. I think I'm really pulling for Patrick Mahomes to get his second. It kind of, I don't know, maybe create a little mini dynasty going on here. And if he can knock off Tom Brady, I think that'll be huge bragging points for Mahomes. I think the Kansas City offense is going to explode. I don't think they're going to be subtle. I think they're going to really try to drive it and put up a lot of points in a short amount of time just to make a statement. And I mean, with Tom Brady, you can't hope nothing's going to happen because he's capable of any kind of comeback. We've seen that happen before. So I don't know. I'm picking Kansas City. That's my official pick. Point spread, I don't know yet. The final score, not sure yet. I'll see if we can figure that out before the show's over here.
And you make an interesting point, man. You remember when they played the Atlanta Falcons? They were down 28-3 or something like that.
Correct.
With like 12 minutes left in the game, and you thought at halftime, I thought, oh man, this is over. There's a blowout,
right?
And it ended up being one of the best Super Bowls, in my opinion, ever. This is something that you say, wow, Tom Brady really is the greatest of all time. So could this happen again? Again, I would never count out Tom Brady. We saw again what he did to the Atlanta Falcons with hardly any time left. So if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are down throughout the game, I wouldn't count Tom Brady out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't count Tom Brady out no matter what, unless they're down 21 and there's like 2.5 minutes left, then maybe. But you can't really count on this here. I'm trying to see what the last time. It's been 18 years since Tampa Bay's been in the Super Bowl. That was 18 years ago, and they beat the Raiders. That was almost lopsided. Do you remember that at all? I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that game. That was Brad Johnson at quarterback. You had the amazing Tampa Bay defense. It was a blowout. I think it was like 40-something to like teens. It was.
Yeah, let me look. It was 48-21. 48. Is that right? 48-21 sound right?
I remember the Rich Gannon threw pick six. I forget, was it Rondé Barber? I forgot the name. No, Derek Brooks, I think, the linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks, run it back, and it was just one of those where at the start of the game you just knew that Tampa Bay had a great scouting report on the Raiders for whatever reason. So I forgot about that game, but yeah, it's been what, 18. Somebody mentioned
18
19
years.
years.
Yeah.
So it all comes back full circle, I guess.
Yeah, that was Super Bowl, let's see, 10, 20, 35, 37, 37. Back when John Gruden was the coach.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go to some of the comments here. Raymundo, what's up, buddy? Chiefs win it. Let's see. That's two or that's three for the Chiefs if you include me right now. Hi, Kanina. Good afternoon. Yeah, not good morning. Good afternoon officially. Brownsville Times going for the Chiefs too.
Chiefs.
And there's still another Cowboys hopeful. There you go. All I can do is tease you guys about that. I'm a Cub fan, so I know losing seasons are, and for a very long time. So I'm not a stranger to it. Now he said I didn't create a snackadium this year. We're just grilling. Yeah, that's one of the questions is what's everybody doing food wise? Traditional wings. I don't know what's traditional wings, right? And stuff like that. Let's see, $38.35. $38.35. That doesn't sound unreasonable.
Hey, Manny, what's the typical fajitas, pizza, wings? I heard some. Did somebody say some like a taquiza? Does people do taquizas on Super Bowl, or is it mainly just barbecue, brisket?
Well, if you're talking about the Valley or Texas, yeah, you're probably talking about they probably do brisket. And I imagine, carne asada or whatever, definitely like nachos with dip and that kind of thing, like chips and dips, or is that like not Texas or not the Valley anyway? Pico de gallo, all that stuff, nacho bar. There you go, nacho bar. I imagine wings are on the top of any of these menus. And for drinks, yep, brewskis, sodas, beer, definitely. I don't know about hard liquor. I don't know if people do that or not during the games anyway. I've never had a Super Bowl party. I've been to a few, and it was pizza, it was wings, and that kind of thing. Hot dogs, stuff that you might get at the stadium. Let's see. How about we do some of these highlights? Yeah, let me pull these up real quick. If you get anything to add in the meantime, feel free.
Like I said, people love Super Bowl Sundays. It's one of those things where we don't change the channel, or at least I do. I don't change the channel, Manny. I leave it on. What is it, CBS?
Yeah,
all day. I love the pregame show. Looking forward to the halftime show. The Weeknd's going to be performing. It's going to be a 12, 13 minute long event show. So all in all, you just have a bunch of people coming together to watch this event. And like I said, to me, it's a holiday. Everything about the Super Bowl is must watch for me. We have the commercials, Manny.
yeah.
That we previously talked about. So there's a lot to look forward to. Some new businesses are trying to break in. There's no telling how much a 30-second ad runs for. I think it's like 1.5, 1.6 million, probably even more.
Is it my imagination, or have I not heard about a lot of commercials going on, or the typical buzz about commercials in the Super Bowl? That's I haven't watched a lot of network TV, but I even in the news, all the stuff on the internet you see. I don't know. Is it just me, or is there not a lot of hype over commercials this time?
No, I think you're right. It's COVID. What I heard was that there wasn't a lot. Obviously, there's not enough money. We just heard that the Weeknd spent $7 million of his own money to put back into the halftime show because Pepsi didn't have the funds or didn't have the vision or wanting to put up the funds for the vision that the Weeknd had. So I don't think many businesses are able to have that extra cash to throw into these commercials. But again, you're always going to have the big corporations the big money cows, always having their primetime spots.
Yeah.
But like Budweiser, Anheuser Busch, those big companies that normally would do like drink a Budweiser or Budweiser, or those commercials. Now they're doing more public service announcements of take the vaccine, wear your mask. So I think you're right. We have been hearing a lot of buzz about commercials because I think that the attention is not on that, is not on the entertainment itself. It's more on how are we going to get over this COVID? What can we do? How can we promote it?
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah, this is true. It's a different. Someone once said we live in interesting times, and I think this is a sign of the times of what we're dealing with. And you're right. I bet we will see a lot of health related commercials or spots or that kind of thing, service announcements, and you'll have your celebrities promoting mask wearing and whatever else the case may be. I don't know, that kind of puts a drag on the whole festivities, but they don't want you to forget it. They don't, they'll take any opportunity to tell you to wear your damn mask, which during the Super Bowl, like, people don't want to talk about it really. Yeah, I thought we'd do something a little fun too right now. Let's do here some of the greatest Super Bowl commercials of all time.
I was looking at some earlier. We have I can't think of some of in my head, but we have some memorable ones that people will always remember.
Yeah.
We have the Bruce Springsteen. I don't know if anybody remembers this. The Bruce Springsteen one, Dolly Parton, the E-Trade one, the Bud Light commercial. So we'll see how this goes. Again, Budweiser always has their typical, typical beer commercials, but we'll see now with this pandemic going on if they'll move away from that.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these and see if y'all remember. Now, this is 11 minutes long, but we're not going to watch the whole 11 minutes. Hopefully, they show some of those good ones. Let's check these out.
Super Bowl is one of the most watched sporting events on earth, and a big draw for viewers who aren't football fans are the creative, funny.
But yeah, I do remember
that come with it. After more than 50 games,
and it just hit me today when we were talking about this. Like, where's all the hype on commercials? Here we go.
Viewers tuning in to watch the 49ers take on the Bengals back in 1989 Super Bowl 23 had a nice surprise waiting for them. Even more surprising than the Bengals making the game in the first place. We're talking about the Bud Bowl,
the Bud
beer
Bowl
versus beer campaign that left a big impression. The stop-motion ad series saw Bud Light and Budweiser go head-to-head in an ultimate battle to determine which was superior.
This Bud's for you, pal. 23 all blue.
The Bud Bowl was spread across several commercial breaks, keeping viewers invested up until a final spot, showing the last play of a tie game. As time expires, the Budweiser team's kicker makes a field goal, winning the matchup and leaving viewers with the conclusion that Bud is best. When supermodel Cindy Crawford stopped to get a Pepsi during 1992 Super Bowl 26, she entered the zeitgeist with the most iconic ad the soda brand has ever come up with. Set to the tune of Doris Troy's Just One Look, two young boys watch Crawford, mesmerized. She walks up to a Pepsi vending machine and takes a long drink while striking a supermodel-y pose.
I remember that.
And they say what's on every viewer's minds.
Is that a great new Pepsi can or what?
The ad was so popular, it still gets parodied. In 2016, Pepsi recreated it as an animated short using emojis, and Crawford has also helped James Corden recreate the ad with his own spin. Which version is sexier? It's hard to choose.
Let's get out of here.
For anyone wondering why the last living Golden Girl had such a big career revival,
Betty White, remember this?
Snickers
I remember that.
The spot shows Betty playing football, doing about as well as an 88-year-old woman could. After getting called out by her teammates, she gets handed a Snickers bar, and everything changes. The player's not an old lady. He was just playing like one, and all he needed to get his groove back was a bite of peanutty goodness.
You're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby.
We're not sure if team nutritionists would be down with the snack choice, but the ad was a hit anyway, sparking a whole campaign using the "You're not you when you're hungry" slogan.
Yeah, there were a whole bunch of these. Man, I remember sometimes I think most I don't know, I'll say older people, more the adult crowd remembers that they got to a point where the Super Bowl commercials were actually almost a bigger event than the Super Bowl itself.
Yeah.
You and me for my Big Mac. First one to miss watches the winner eat.
The challenge inspires the most extreme.
Yeah, that was classic. Larry Bird with Michael Jordan.
Shot after shot with nothing but net has these two greats escalating things until finally they end up calling shots on the top of a skyscraper. We don't see who wins, but it doesn't matter. The idea of doing the impossible to get a Big Mac stuck in viewers' minds, making it one of McDonald's most
All right.
successful acts ever.
We'll cut it there because we could be watching this for like freaking hours. We can keep watching this. But yeah, I'll be interested in what the commercials are going to be this time around, and see if the typical big guys, the beer commercial, the beer companies, the soda companies, the fast food companies are going to be the ones that are doing all this stuff. Let's talk offense. Who's got the bigger offense? Who's got the more potential to really project this thing? Now, like I said, I'm going for youth. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. I think they're going to rule.
Last week when the Bills played the Kansas City Chiefs, I think the Bills were up, was it 12-0, 11-0? And I thought, here we go. The Buffalo Bills are making a statement. And then just like in a matter of 2-3 minutes, the Kansas City Chiefs scored. And you have to remember their offense, Kelsey Hill, the running backs, Patrick Mahomes, they're stacked. They are a team that could turn it on like that, compared to Tampa Bay, who's got more of a slower pace, more methodical offense with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. They both have great weapons, but I give the slight edge to Kansas City. They just seem like if they could score at will. But we'll see how this goes. But I agree with you. I have to give the slight edge to Kansas City because of their high-powered, high-tempo offense.
Yeah, it's a little more dynamic, and and it's hard to say that and not talk about Tom Brady and say that, not that he's not dynamic. He's got the experience to, like we just talked about a little while ago, to come back from any situation, not panic, and just lead the team like a freaking general down the field, and he can almost will his team to a win. So I think if the Kansas City is going to take it, I really hope they do. They're going to have to pile up a lot, and like every other game, not get complacent. So they score a quick 21 points or 28. Don't just sit back and go, "Oh, we got this thing," because Brady's. What do you think about Brady's offense? I mean, besides himself, his supporting cast, is that enough to? Obviously, he got them this far, so they're not shabby.
Not shabby at all. They're very capable of winning this. Again, I would hate to ever root against Tom Brady, but they got the weapons. They got Gronkowski. They have Mike Evans. Their running backs, Jones and Fournette. Even Shady McCoy, which I don't think he's going to get a lot of reps in today's game, but they're just stacked overall. Antonio Brown's coming back. He does have a bum knee. His knee is sore. We'll see how that plays out. But on paper, Manny, this is what you want from the NFL. You want two high scoring offenses. And again, this game could tip either way. It could be a one possession game. It could be a one play thing that changes the whole dynamics of the ball game. So I also like the Tampa Bay offense. I think it's going to be a high scoring game today, and either team, like I said, either team could put it off.
Yeah. Now the other thing we talked about for the playoffs anyway was weather. And if I recall, I know there was thunderstorms in the area, but I don't think it was going to affect Tampa. I mean, not Tampa. Where are we playing a game? We're playing the Super Bowl, but Tampa, right?
Tampa, yeah. And we're also not discussing the big storyline that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the first team to ever play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. So that's another advantage that they have, you know. But then you say, oh well, there's hardly any fans. But then again, think about sleeping in your own bed. Think about being around your family. Think about, you know, not having to travel, not having to sleep in a hotel. That's something that plays a major role in a preparation for a football team. So I think
Yeah.
that's very important as well. They're the first football team to play in their own stadium. I says that gives a slight edge. You know, it might not be, but I think, you know, hey, sleeping in your own bed, opposed to sleeping in a hotel is good for that team.
Oh, hang on, we're losing you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you know, it's like a home game. You can't deny it. It's like a home game. So apparently there's going to be, I think they're allowing, or they allowed 22,000 fans to attend the game. And that's, you know, you got to wonder what percentage of those, even though they try to make it fair, right? And distribute. And although at some point there was always talk about being fair and not putting all the tickets available to one particular area. So they try to spread it out. But you got to think about, I wonder how many of those 22,000 people are going to be, you know, Tampa Bay fans. And I guess we'll find out once we start hearing the noise from the crowd. Boy, that will play a part. Like you said, it's like a home game.
It has to play a part. And you're right. You know, how much of those thousands of tickets are going to stay in the area? I think there's going to be a lot of, obviously there's going to be a lot of red. Both teams were red, but I think there's going to be a lot of Tampa Bay fans in the arena. You have people who just, you know, appreciate what something like Tom Brady does in the NFL. He's 42 years old. He's playing just as good, if not better, than he was a few years ago. And that all goes to the way he prepares, you know, his mentality. So I think a lot of people appreciate that. They're seeing like a Michael Jordan. Manny, you're from Chicago. Michael Jordan, when he was going, finishing up his career, everybody watched those finals. Everybody rooted for Michael Jordan because, hey man, he's something more than a player. And I think at least that's what I see in Tom Brady, that we're seeing something amazing here that we probably won't see in a long time. So we have to appreciate that. So I think there's going to be several people in that stadium rooting for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of Tom Brady.
Yeah, and that's true. When I was in Chicago, I lived there. I was born and raised there, and I was there during the whole Bulls dynasty. And I have to say, it never got old. Year after year, everyone expected the Bulls to be in the playoffs, and they were expected to beat everyone, and for the most part, they did. And it no matter who it was, it never got boring. And I guess that's the same way it is for fans of Tom Brady. And I don't know, maybe because it's a different sport. I guess I prefer basketball a little more than football. I see it a little bit differently, but I do get the hype, and people are rooting for that number 7. We said, right? That'd be number 7 for him.
It would be number 7.
Yeah, that's a freaking huge accomplishment in itself. It is. I'm not going to deny that. Again, I don't know. I'm choosing youth over. I don't know. What is the contract Tom Brady's got? Do we know? Is he there for a bunch of years?
He has. Well,
I don't recall.
This past week, he's 42 years old. This past week, he said that he wouldn't mind playing up until he's 45. I think his contract he signed was for 2, maybe possibly 3 years, which would take him, you know, close to that age that he said. So I'm gonna see Tom Brady for a couple of years. Now, will his body continue to hold up? That's something that we have to wait and see. But I think his contract is for the next couple of years, if I remember correctly.
Hang on a second. You were breaking up just a little bit there. Yeah, lose you, Frankie. You still there, Frank? Wait, man. There you go. You're starting to come back. There you go. All right. Can you hear me, Frankie? You kind of disappeared there for a minute.
I can hear you.
All right, there we go. Got you back. Yeah, so yes, I caught most of that. Assuming. Why don't you remove and come back? That was weird. And yes, the Clydesdales, those are some of the great commercials ever. Classic. We won't see stuff like that anymore. I don't just mean today. I mean like at all anymore. We don't do stuff like that anymore. Until we get Frankie back. As long as Tom Brady makes it, there's no reason why he shouldn't start. And once everything gets going, he will officially become the oldest player to ever play in a Super Bowl. And he did say he planned to play till he was 45. Today, I believe he's 43 years old. So let's see. Here we go. There we go. Welcome back. Yeah. So, like I was saying, as long as the game goes on and Brady does make the start, which of course he's going to make the start, he will officially be the oldest player, oldest quarterback anyway, to ever start off a Super Bowl at 43. And yes, he did say he did plan to play until 45. I just didn't know if his contract ran that long or if he was a year to year with Tampa Bay. I don't know what the situation was with his contract, but I would imagine he just wants to finish here and just be done with it.
When he won the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons, I thought, man, if I was him, I would retire. What better way for you to be remembered as the greatest quarterback of all time that had this unbelievable game? That's how I saw it. I was like, wow, this guy should just retire and that's it. You would be remembered as the greatest quarterback. But look what he's doing. He's back in the Super Bowl, and I'm sure if he wins this, Tampa Bay will give him whatever he wants. You want to play till you're 45, 46, do it, because that brings revenue. That brings a lot of merchandise sales. That just adds a lot to it. So if Tom Brady wins, who's not to say that he would play past 45, the age of 45?
So now we got the other side of this with what if he doesn't win? Is it possible he's going to just hang it up, which it'll be a mistake because now you're talking about going out as a loser, even though he won 6, but you're only as great as your last accomplishment. So 2 schools of thought there. He's either going to hang it up, I don't know, barring any injury, God forbid there's any kind of bad injury today, or he's going to say, yep, now I got to come back next year and try to get this thing back and try to go back, out back on top, and then maybe call it a career.
I don't think so. I think Tom Brady, he doesn't need the money, obviously. I think he's just competitive. He's just competitive. I think he's true to his word, and if he said that he's going to play until he's in his late 40s, he's going to do that. But that's something to watch. That's a good point that you make, that hey, if he doesn't win this, would this hurt his image? Would this hurt his this identity that he has created for himself? I don't think so. He has won 6 out of 9 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken, this being his 10th.
Yeah, I think I heard that, yes.
So, hey, man, being 60%, 70% in your Super Bowls, that's an amazing number.
Good number.
Yeah, so I hope, I'm more than sure that if he loses, he won't retire. I'm more than sure that he will maintain, playing in the league. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're probably right. He's not going to retire. In fact, anything, it'll drive him more into coming back and trying to come back and be on top again. And then maybe after the next one, if he wins it the next year, because he didn't do it this year, then he might just hang it up while he's on top instead of doing another year or 2. Let's talk up here. Let's show some of these highlights. Let's go with the Tom Brady highlights. We'll do that first. And we'll see how long this is. We won't have to play the whole thing. And let's take everybody down memory lane. These are the highlights of Tom Brady for 2020. And Boom. There we go.
3 tight ends in the game. Watch for that guy, Cameron Brate. He's a red zone weapon. And
This was against New Orleans, obviously.
Man.
Now look at the score.
What an answer by Brady. Down by 17. End zone pass is Evans and a touchdown. His first catch of the ball game results in a score. Penalties an issue last week for Tampa as well.
Panthers.
Brady deep down the middle for
Man.
inside the 30 of Carolina, and Mike Evans is down to the 21. Flea flicker. Back to Brady. And he's got an open man in Justin Watson.
Too bad he just underthrew that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Third down. Brady lofting it. Scotty Miller's the target. And Scotty
Wow.
got it inside the 30.
Not just a throw, but the catch on that one.
Throw into that tunnel, and it's caught for a touchdown by Mike Evans. Sneaky design for a score for Tampa Bay. Another drive starts with great field position for Tampa Bay. And Brady wants a shot into a window. Penalty marker is thrown.
In the crowd.
Jewel and O.J. Howard are fighting for it, and it's a catch.
Gronk still yet to find the end zone for the Buccaneers. Had 7 targets last week. Brady.
I mean, he just makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Yeah, dude, we'll just do a couple of more plays and we'll switch over to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, these are impressive plays. But what I recognize from here was that some of them, the passes seem to be underthrown a little bit. Does that concern you at all? You think his arm is getting a little? It seems like on the long passes that they seem to be coming up just a little bit short.
Yeah, you know, his arm strength is probably not what it once was, but he could still get it there. But you're right, you know, he doesn't have the greatest arm strength, as we can see throughout these clips.
Yeah, it was very noticeable. Here, let me switch over to some Patrick Mahomes clips. I don't know. I noticed it. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that 43-year-old age thing is coming up, and could that be something that's going to bite him in the butt when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes?
I'm sure it can. Again, we'll see. The defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they're like hawks, especially the secondary. So there's a lot to say about his arm strength. Will that play a key role in today's game? You know, we'll see. But that's a good observation that you made.
Here, let's take a look at some of these real quick. Now we're switching over to Patrick Mahomes. Some of his plays of better plays of 2020.
Chiefs go double tight end. Mahomes twirls around, looking, firing, it's caught.
Dude, he threw that across his body in motion, and it was a rocket.
Yeah.
You're trying to get Patrick Mahomes to walk out like he's making an audible, then he runs one way and loops back the other way.
And that's what makes the scene so fun, right?
Bullseye.
He makes it look so easy.
Here goes Mahomes downfield for Hill. He's got him. Touchdown.
He just slings it. It's crazy.
41-yard touchdown throw. Mahomes has thrown 5 touchdowns today at the Jets.
5 touchdowns and over 400 yards passing.
400 yards on that day.
Just putting on a display. He's got so much talent around him. It's his ability to distribute the ball.
Yeah, that's how he throws. He's got like a sling motion.
2nd and 9. Mahomes.
Wow.
Hill, and he brings it down for the touchdown. Mahomes to Hill.
Just watch him. He does a nice job of jamming at the line of scrimmage, riding him inside. He sees his safety sitting in the middle of the field. Pat has to basically put that ball in Tyreek's hands, almost as if he walked up to him and gave it to him, and that's exactly what he did.
3rd and 1.
Here, watch a couple more of these, couple more plays, and then we'll wrap it up for him.
Holmes gets away before the hit. What a catch! Just snags it out.
I mean, that one was underthrown also, but that was clearly a wide receiver play.
Yeah.
Block him much, so Mahomes straight back. But Kelsey, this is that it factor we talked about.
Ah, that's amazing catch.
Yeah.
Feel the body, weight difference, know your quarterback's tendencies. High point it perfectly, pull it away from him. Just a special player, Travis Kelsey is.
Second and goal from the 5. Patrick rolling left. Again, buying the time, and now back to the end zone, incomplete. Catch. First I thought they were signaling out.
This is
I don't know, man.
he waits it, throws a touch pass in the corner,
And the left foot is still down.
Perfect. You can't throw that in a better spot.
The pass
Nope.
had to be right there to have any chance.
unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, we'll call it there. Here, one more.
Fumble this season. Indianapolis and Jacksonville, the other 2.
Scrambling out to the left. Look at that across his body.
He's known for that. He makes it look easy. It's crazy.
Defies physics.
That's what he just said. He defies physics. Running to the left, throwing to the right.
Is a right-handed thrower, and then you throw back to the inside.
In a crowd.
Player.
I don't know. I'm digging these highlights more than the Tom Brady highlights.
Oh yeah, of course. He's an athlete. It's crazy.
Perfect throw. 16 touchdowns now on the season for Hill.
All right, let's wrap it up there because we could be watching this all day. Let's talk about final scores. What are you thinking?
Oh, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not sure. I believe Marisa gave a score 38-30. Abel gave a score 38-35.
Oh yeah.
I'll even dare say 41-35 Kansas City. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be an offensive game. They got very good defenses, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I'll go with Abel. It's going to be in the high 30s, low 40s type of matchup.
Yeah, for some reason, the score of 42-28 came to my head. Kansas City. I'm choosing Kansas City. I believe Frankie is also. You're officially going Kansas City, right? Or are you going Brady? Are you doing Brady?
I'm rooting for Kansas City. That way, Tom Brady could win. I don't want to jinx Tom Brady, so I'll be rooting for Tom Brady. But I'll officially say that I'm rooting for the Bucks. So Tom Brady could win his 7th ring.
All right. So basically, he's going for Tampa Bay. Let's see. Who do you got, Frank? Brady or Mahomes? I believe he's got Brady.
I got Brady.
He just came out of his. Yeah, he's doing Brady. Hi, Amy. Let's see. 41-35 says Eddie. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm thinking. I'm almost thinking I don't think Brady can get more than 4. For some reason, I got a good feeling about Mahomes today. Like I said, I think they're going to come out and just assault Lewis. If they come to play, Brady will be Super Bowl MVP and a GOAT. Bucks. See, he's got it the way I scored it, but the other way. Tampa Bay. So I'm calling it 42-28 Kansas City. That's my official prediction. So, yes, we'll see. Game time is at 6:30, if I'm not mistaken.
About that time, yeah. 6.
And who do we have to look forward to? I heard a name, but I have no idea who he is. The Super Bowl, the halftime show.
The Weekend. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see how he performs. I'm sure it's not going to be like a Madonna type. I'm sure it's not going to be like a Janet Jackson type where there were some revealing things. But I'm looking forward to that halftime show this year.
Yeah, there was talk earlier in the week about what Super Bowl halftime shows used to be compared to what they are more recently. I mean, you used to have a lot of rock and roll a long time ago.
Right.
And then it started shifting toward more popular by them. You know, pop, the Michael Jacksons and the now lately J-Lo and Shakira and all that stuff. And now I don't know. Is there something that you would prefer to see versus? I don't know. If you had a choice, who would you like to see, or what would you like to see for a halftime show?
I like The Weeknd. To me, The Weeknd is like the modern day Prince, and I say that very cautiously, but I like The Weeknd. I like his music. He's just something different. He's got this I don't know. It's something different, which I appreciate. I've been getting away from the whole rap, the whole. So I like The Weeknd. I like the pop. It's just something different.
So let's see. I was going to bring this up. Lewis says just reported that 2 offensive line from Kansas City may be out with COVID-19. But I just read something today that everyone on both sides tested negative for COVID, unless this is like a really recent thing. I heard that both sides were completely negative. I mean, staff and players and everybody. Did you hear anything about that at all?
I did hear that there was some issue with the barber, but I think the players did test negative. So, again, that's something to monitor. But I think as of right now, I haven't heard anything regarding the any players, any offensive linemen not playing because of this incident. But again, there's something that the NFL is going to be continuing to monitor probably up until kickoff.
Yeah, I'm trying to load this video now. It says from Rappaport. It says all players, coaches test negative for COVID-19 ahead of Super Bowl 50. Super Bowl LV, that's 50, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shoot, where am I? Damn, 50 already. Let's see if this pops up here. I will play it. Also important is, when did this happen? Because it's not giving me a date on this. Anyway, they're talking about everybody testing negative. So I guess it is possible. I mean, if they just tested, I imagine they just tested as recently as yesterday. It would make sense for them to do that. If Baker Mayfield's played for Kansas City, they would have a chance. Hilda says Trace Atkins halftime show. Joe, I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Joe Lopez.
Joe Lopez.
That's hilarious.
That'd be pretty funny.
I'm sure people would watch.
Metallica?
Have they come out of the Super Bowl before?
Oh man, I can't remember. I'd have to go back and see what all there. I know Guns N' Roses have, haven't they?
I don't remember that. That must have been the early 90s.
God, yeah, I'd have to look up to see what all the halftime shows from the very beginning were. I'd like to see Post Malone. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. He's all right. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I just don't know if he's worthy of a whole halftime show. I don't know if he's that big of a. I don't know. Then again, I haven't seen him in a concert. I just listen to the music. I don't know if he can. Could there be a whole spectacle made around Post Malone? I mean, he's doing the commercials and stuff, which they're entertaining commercials and everything. Yeah. Some kind of country music. Also says country music. Yeah. Marissa, she's like, me too. The Weeknd. She likes The Weeknd also. Did he do commercials or something? I'm trying to. I don't know if I've heard his music or not. Honestly, I'm not into that stuff.
Just had the Pepsi commercial. They're doing this halftime show, but I can't think of any other commercials before that.
Is that the one where everybody's like singing his song and they're humming a song, and then he pulls up in a car and the guy's like,
"That's it." Yeah.
Okay, so that's him. That music I have heard. All right, I guess that's not too bad. Metallica never came out. If I'm not mistaken, the NFL refuses to book them. I wonder why. The No Fun League. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. So Frankie's he's rooting for Brady to do his number 7. And
Brady do his number 7, but I think the Chiefs are going to win, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm choosing Kansas City, and my score is 42-28. That's what I'm choosing to be the final score. Hey Lola, yeah. Anything else? Anything else you want to bring up, or anything else you got, or we can wrap it up? Everybody, have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy your cookouts. Take pictures. Send us pictures and stuff. I'll put them up there. I might do a show. I'll be back on the air tomorrow night, and we'll see what everybody did for Super Bowl, and we'll do that on my show tonight. Manny behind the mic at 10:30 tomorrow night. Nadia says a trio of Post Malone, Bruno Mars, and Jason Derulo. Whoa. So no ladies, no girls dancing, no Jennifer Lopez's, or has Lady Gaga done one already?
I think she has.
All right, she's been there already. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's time for a really big name or something, some kind of production. But anyway, we could do a whole other show just on that. Wings on the grill or in the air fryer. I've had them both. I don't know. I think I prefer the grill, or even a deep fryer, oil fryer. Lola, no NFL for me. Fishing only. There you go. It's our turn for some. It's our turn for some eye candy. Oh, there you go. Here's your halftime. See, you got a whole crowd that's only going to watch for the halftime show. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's entertaining. Megan the Stallion or Cardi B. Oh Lord, Cardi B. Is that somebody you want during the halftime show?
No.
For a potential wardrobe malfunction?
Nah, I'm sure it could happen, but we'll see.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Frankie, we'll get in touch later in the week. We'll see how we did on these predictions tomorrow after tonight, and maybe we'll come back on for a little post Super Bowl show tomorrow or the next day or something like that.
Sounds good.
We'll let you guys know. Lady Gaga is eating cookies. Enjoy all the day, guys. Yeah, we did a show on those Lady Gaga Oreos, and from what I understand, we were not impressed. Anyway, guys, have a good Sunday. God bless you all. Have fun watching the Super Bowl. Peace out. Later, Frankie.
Bye.